Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I want to share with you what the public is saying. Many of you have heard the very sad news that legendary actress Hayden Panettiere has passed away. As you can see on the screen, we know her from Heroes, Remember the Titans, Bring It On, Scream 6, and a lot more. We grew up with her. We grew up seeing her and watching her and loving her. And there are new details now coming out about her sudden, well, she passed away. She passed away, and this has sent shockwaves everywhere. She was just 36 years old. Her birthday is literally in just a few days. So this was very unexpected, and she has fans globally all over the place. And I want to share with you the responses, the reactions from people about hearing the loss of her. This is just crazy. 36 is not old at all. And again, a lot of us grew up watching her and reading about her. You know, she has a daughter, and she has it with a very famous boxer, and there was a lot that she was going through. Sometimes people said they would see sadness in her eyes because she exposed some things that was going on within the industry, things that happened to her. You hear about it, okay, a lot. And is a lot of people think something, maybe this was a setup, or maybe it is what they're saying that it is, how she passed away. So I want you to check this out right now.
We have more details that have come out about Hayden Panettiere's death, and it looks like the possibility of an overdose is very likely. Through several sources, TMZ has apparently confirmed that Narcan was found in the apartment that she was in. Specifically, it was found on the bed. Narcan, of course, is used nasally to reverse the effects of an overdose. Now, TMZ is saying that there were two ambulances on the scene, so there's a possibility that two people were in distress and that the Narcan may not have been used for Hayden herself. We're still waiting to hear more details on that. However, I will say that two ambulances being at the scene is not super surprising to me. I feel like I see that quite often. In addition to that, a 911 call has been released, and in that call, you can hear first responders telling dispatch that this is regarding an overdose. You can hear it here.
1 minute 29 responding.
Respond in place of medic 29. Overdose. CPR is in progress.
In addition, sources have confirmed that epinephrine was used at the scene to treat Hayden. Epinephrine is basically adrenaline, and it is used by first responders to try to resuscitate people who have gone into cardiac arrest. I think that cardiac arrest heavily tracks with what Hayden has told us about her substance use in the past, specifically her dependency on Klonopin and alcohol. Klonopin specifically treats major panic disorders and seizures, and it does so by depressing and slowing down your central nervous system the same way alcohol does. You could slow your breathing down enough to where it basically just stops completely. That leads to oxygen deprivation, and that can send you into cardiac arrest and eventually death. Now, Hayden's boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, has been linked to the home in which she died in. Apparently, he had been living there as well, and they had been on and off again for several years since 2018. Brian had also been known to be abusive against Hayden. I mean, he had been arrested for domestic violence and assault several times since 2019. And back in May, when her memoir first came out, TMZ actually spoke with him, and he said that he loved Hayden and that she would absolutely be way better off without him. Of course, these are all details that we're getting from third parties. No one in Hayden's family has confirmed what has actually happened or what she died from. I know that the autopsy report came back as well, and although the cause of death has not been released, they have stated that there's no trauma and that they for sure do not think that foul play was involved. It is so heartbreaking. It is so tragic. Like I said in my first video, she had spoken about being sober for the last 5 years, but we know that as hard as it is to leave an abusive relationship, we also know just how difficult it is when you have a substance abuse issue, because it ends up essentially being a battle that you're fighting every single day. Hayden, I think, was just so universally loved by so many people, so many different cultures. In the early 2000s, she was also such an it girl, and I think that it hits even harder because so many of us truly grew up with her, like seeing her on TV. So It's just overall so tragic. Like I said, I will keep my eyes peeled for any other updates that we get about this.
Losing both ice princesses within less than 2 years is such a gut punch to millennials, and knowing that both of these women started working in Hollywood as children only to face serious struggles later in life makes their stories even more heartbreaking. Michelle Trachtenberg passed away in 2025 at only 39. Her official cause of death was complications from diabetes, but Rosie O'Donnell recently revealed that Michelle had allegedly struggled privately with drugs and alcohol in her later years. And now Hayden Panettiere is gone at only 36. Hayden was extremely open about her addiction. She said she was first given pills as a teenager by someone in her professional circle to keep her energetic for interviews and appearances. Her struggles eventually grew to include opioids and alcohol, and at one point, a doctor warned her that if she didn't stop drinking, she could be dead within 5 years. And then there's DeVay Chase, another former child star we lost this year at only 35. A lot of us know her best as the voice of Lilo and Lilo and Stitch. DeVay reportedly struggled with addiction for years and was homeless before her death. Her medical examiner listed AIDS as her primary cause of death, with chronic polysubstance use as a significant condition. But what makes her story even more shocking is that she apparently wasn't broke prior to her death. Court filings showed that she left behind a 6-figure estate, and you're probably wondering, well, what's so shocking? Because she was a part of one of the biggest Disney franchises. However, there was a controversy surrounding a GoFundMe started by a man who identified himself as her boyfriend. Seeing 3 former child stars die honestly makes me wonder if there needs to be better protection for children working in Hollywood, y'all. And I'm not saying their parents are to blame, because addiction is incredibly complicated and we don't know everything that happened behind closed doors, but these are children being exposed to fame, money, pressure, and powerful adults before they're even old enough to fully understand what any of that means. It makes me even more grateful when I look at a former child star like Zendaya or Hilary Duff, who seemingly made that transition into adulthood successfully, because clearly that isn't everyone's story. And my prayers especially go out to Hayden's parents. They also lost their son Jansen in 2023 when he was only 28. I genuinely cannot imagine what it feels like to lose both of your children so young.
Hayden Panettiere's cause of death has just been revealed. Sadly, it is now being reported that the 36-year-old actress passed away from a suspected overdose at a home in South Carolina after being found unresponsive. She is reported to have travelled from LA to South Carolina with her on-off boyfriend Brian Hickerson. It has not 100% been confirmed if these two were together when she passed away. She was reportedly found unresponsive inside the home, and it's now being reported that she suffered a cardiac arrest as a result of a suspected overdose. Detectives confirmed that she was found unresponsive and passed away shortly after. Guys, this is just absolutely heartbreaking. Hayden Panettiere had been very open about her struggles with substance abuse over the years, and in her last interview she said that she felt like she was finally getting her life back on track and that everything was going to be okay. But that is the tragic nature of addiction. It is such an ongoing and difficult disease to battle. And if you look into Hayden's story, she has just been through so much in her life.
We now have new details surrounding the sudden death of Hayden Panettiere, including where she was found and what may have happened in her final moments. According to reports, Hayden was found unresponsive by a friend at a residence in Greenville, South Carolina, Lord have mercy, on Sunday, August 16th. A 911 call was made around 1:50 p.m. for an unresponsive woman in cardiac arrest. Emergency responders attempted what is called advanced cardiac life support, which reportedly included CPR, medication, breathing support, and monitoring her heart rhythm. Sadly, Hayden was pronounced dead at the scene at 2:32 p.m. And now we're learning that dispatch audio reportedly suggested Hayden may have suffered an overdose that resulted in cardiac arrest. But I want to be careful with how I say this, because an overdose has not been officially confirmed as her cause of death. An autopsy is still pending, and police say there were no signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances. Obviously, hearing the word overdose connected to Hayden is especially heartbreaking, because she had been extremely open about her past struggles with addiction. Hayden previously revealed that she struggled with alcohol and opioids, and said things became so severe at one point that doctors told her her liver was failing. And I think that's why it's important to not immediately turn this into a story of, well, she struggled with addiction, so we know what happened. We don't. Addiction addiction and recovery aren't always a straight line, but her past doesn't automatically tell us what happened on August 16th. And regardless of what the autopsy eventually reveals, I really hope the circumstances surrounding Hayden's death don't overshadow who she was, and that her family gets the answers they deserve.
Hayden Panettiere has officially named the woman that she accused of trafficking her on a yacht. If you remember, Hayden broke the internet with a massive confession on the Jay Shetty podcast in which she claimed that there was an older woman that she looked up to as some sort of a role model who was kind of like her handler and stuff, who lured her onto a yacht in the middle of the ocean. And I guess she thought it was just the two of them going out on like a vacation sort of a thing. And then she tells Hayden to go downstairs. And what does Hayden find? An old Hollywood actor or singer, actor in bed, completely naked. And he's old, okay? And Hayden's only 18 at the time. A lot of people were wondering who the heck this woman was who would put Hayden in such a compromising position. And in her book, This Is Me, The Reckoning, Hayden names names. Or does she? Because the name is a little bit suspect. All right, so without further ado, Hayden claims that the woman in question is named Stella McAmis. But here's the problem. When you go online, you type in the name Stella McAmis, you don't really find anything about anybody. So I do think that this is a pseudonym that she's using in order to get people off her back. Anyway, at the end of the day, I've got nothing else to say about the situation. I want to know what you think. Why is she protecting this woman? Or is she just protecting herself by not coming out with a formal name and allegation? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Hayden Panettiere has officially named the woman that she accused of trafficking her on a yacht. If you remember, Hayden broke the internet with a massive confession on the Jay Shetty podcast in which she claimed that there was an older woman that she looked up to as some sort of a role model who was kind of like her handler and stuff, who lured her onto a yacht in the middle of the ocean. And I guess she thought it was just the two of them going out on like a vacation sort of a thing. And then she tells Hayden to go downstairs. And what does Hayden find? An old Hollywood actor or singer, actor in bed, completely naked. And he's old, okay? And Hayden's only 18 at the time. A lot of people were wondering who the heck this woman was who would put Hayden in such a compromising position. And in her book, This Is Me, The Reckoning, Hayden names names. Or does she? Because the name is a little bit suspect. All right, so without further ado, Hayden claims that the woman in question is named Stella McAmis. But here's the problem. When you go online, you type in the name Stella McAmis, you don't really find anything about anybody. So I do think that this is a pseudonym that she's using in order to get people off her back. Anyway, at the end of the day, I've got nothing else to say about the situation. I want to know what you think. Why is she protecting this woman? Or is she just protecting herself by not coming out with a formal name and allegation? Let me know what you think in the comments section.
I don't know about anybody else, but something isn't sitting well in my stomach about the death of Hayden Panettiere. Something is up. I've made a couple videos about the potential cause of death, how it's an apparent overdose combined with cardiac arrest, but I don't know if I 100% believe that. Obviously, they're still doing research and everything, but there is just this feeling in the pit of my stomach. I legit tried everything I could to fall asleep last night. I just couldn't. Something else is going on. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But according to my comments on my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, you guys are also saying the same thing. You don't trust it. I will miss the absolute hell out of this woman. She is a legend. I don't care what anybody says about it. This is just too sudden, too tragic, and she's too young. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I need to know.
Okay, so this is the dark side. Hayden Panettiere, who passed away tragically at the age of 36. And while everybody's just talking about the tragedy, nobody's talking about how in the last 20 years she was a victim of abuse from multiple men in her life, which ultimately led to her passing away despite her having this great career. And just look at everything, this is how she died. Diving into this, we really need to look at Hayden Panettiere's life and realize she was never not working. Where when she was just 5 years old, she was cast in the soap opera One Life to Live. And then when she was 7, it was the show Guiding Life. And then from there was Malcolm in the Middle. Then it was Heroes. And then it was Nashville. So basically from the point of being 5 to 25, she never stopped working. And a lot of that had to do with who Hayden's mom was, Leslie Vogel, who was also a soap opera actress, but ended up scaling that down to focus on being Hayden's manager. And there was a huge conflict where she was a manager, but also a mom. So when Hayden was 18 years old, she asked her mom to no longer be her manager. And she said, "You owe me for this because your career is only a product of me." So there was this massive abuse going on in the relationship. To make things worse, when Hayden was only 18 years old, her father was arrested for beating her mother, and they had this very complicated relationship for 4 years where they were in this on and off divorce. So because of that, Hayden made the decision to leave home, saying it was the only way she was going to get freedom. So basically, she's this star who's known for TV shows, but now she's just living on her own at 18, and she's away from her parents, who she's very isolated from. And from there, men got into the picture, particularly much older men, with one big example being when Hayden was just 18 years old. She was in the Mediterranean, went on this famous singer's yacht that a friend brought her on, and when she got there, the famous singer was laying in bed naked waiting for her, where the friend said get into bed with him, which she did because she felt pressure too, and even though she said they didn't sleep together, she still felt horribly abused because of the situation. We don't know for sure who did it. Many people believe it's James Blunt because to Hayden's description, it was a man in his mid-30s who had yacht access that was also a British singer, and that's James Blunt to a T, where he was very known at the time for hanging around in the Mediterranean, and he also ran in a similar friend circle to Hayden. A year later, when she was 19, another similar incident happened in Los Angeles, where she got invited to this party where she was told she could meet a bunch of high-profile actors, but what happened was it was just a bunch of older actors and younger actresses in their late teens and early 20s, and from there, one of the actors, when she was trying to leave, flashed her. This one, we don't really know who's responsible, where there wasn't as clear of a suspect, but we know the person was an Academy Award winner, an actor, and also a director. So really 3 names come to mind, with the first one being Ben Affleck, who had a massive drinking problem during this period, which also would line up with her story. But then there's also Mel Gibson and Kevin Costner, who could have been as well. At the same time, Hayden also began dating men who were a lot older than her, with one big example being Milo Ventimiglia, who she met doing the show Heroes. And what was really weird about that is she met him when she was only 16 years old and he was 28, and they began dating right when she turned 18 and he was 30. So there was definitely a lot of speculation going on that she was dating him when she shouldn't have. And then after that ended, when she was 19 years old, she began this on and off relationship for 9 years with Vladimir Klitschko, who's this famous boxer. And once again, he was much older, being 33 when they started dating, and she was 19. So once again, it's a man in his 30s dating a teenager. While there was no evidence that Vladimir ever abused Hayden, there were a lot of problems going on after she had a kid with him, with the reason being that she said she had postpartum depression, was really depressed all the time, so she began drinking excessively and also doing a lot of drugs, and when they split up because of that, she decided to forfeit all custody of her kid, where she only had visitation rights, but she never actually had full custody of their daughter. While she was still struggling with addiction, she had probably her worst relationship, which was to Brian Hickerson, where the two of them were together for 4 years, and there were on and off stories of domestic violence between the two of them, where basically she would get drunk or do drugs and he would get his hands on her, and it was not a healthy deal at all. Eventually, Brian Hickerson would go to jail, where after a domestic violence call, the cops decided to arrest him, put 52 charges on him, and because of that, he faced 45 days in prison, which definitely did not help Hayden's relationship with the public, where the paparazzi was all over the situation, but at the same time, at least she was free from Brian. This would all happen right before another very difficult part of her life, when her brother Jansen, at the age of 28, tragically passed away. And to be very clear, he had no record of abuse or substance problems, but at the same time, he did have an enlarged heart problem going on since when he was a child, so they found him passed away, which absolutely shocked Hayden because that her drinking only got worse. And since that point, for the last few years, Hayden has just had a very sad life, where a lot of people have seen her in public appearances and interviews where it's very clear she's on substance, and then at the same time, she had no one she trusted, where her parents just tried to use her to make money, and then she had all these friends that were just trying to put her in the beds of famous celebrities, and then she had a bad relationship with the baby daddy and couldn't even really see her daughter that much because of the custody arrangements. So basically, she had a bunch of addiction problems, and that's why she passed away. But at the end of the day, it took 20 years in the making, where there were a lot of abuse going on. So rest in peace, Hayden. And with that, I'm Charles Parle. Please subscribe to learn something.
Hayden Panettiere has passed away, and if you want my brutal opinion, there is one person that's responsible, and that is her mother, Leslie Vogel. Hayden's mom had her signed up for modeling and talent agencies when she was just 4 months old, and she was in commercials by 11 months. And as a child, she was a breadwinner of the family. Hayden's mom was allegedly so controlling that she made Hayden quit the film Panic Room because the director asked if Hayden could have a bob for the film. But Leslie let Hayden think that it was her fault that she got fired. Finally, when Hayden was 19 years old, she begged her mom to stop being her manager and simply be her mom. And Leslie replied with 3 words: "You owe me." I mean, what kind of mother says that to their child? And here's the worst part. When Hayden's book came out this past spring, it was very frank about the relationship. After it came out, Leslie released a statement basically saying, actually, it was Hayden that traumatized her for 20 years. Hayden went on to struggle with so many demons in her life, including issues with substances and a relationship riddled with DV. And in my opinion, in so many cases, those issues can be directly traced back to a problematic parent. And now early reports show that she passed away due to those substance issues. Hollywood fails young stars like Hayden Panettiere again and again and again. We desperately need more laws on the books protecting child stars.
Last night, I got the news that Hayden Panettiere died, and I'm not going to lie, that fucked me up. I hate when people die. I mean, in general, obviously, but it's something about somebody who is in a similar age range than you that is problematic, that you have some type of alignment with that passes, it's like, whoa. If you are my age or in my peer group, you grew up with Hayden, like from a youth, It's like, what the hell? That was a good white girl. That was a good white girl. And I was literally a couple of months ago just watching the podcast that she did with that one boy. I forgot his name. And she was talking about how grief changed her when her brother died, and how she was just so unlike herself and so down bad that she gave up custody to her daughter to her ex, because she just felt like she couldn't really do it. And how she lost her Neutrogena partnership that she had for fucking bitch, that was the face of Neutrogena. Lost it because she talked about having postpartum depression with Kelly and Michael. The plight of a woman. My goodness. It's just like, it's so sick. It's really just so sick. And it really just tore me up. Like, when I see people who just have rough shit happening, I feel it, man. Hayden, girl, the legacy lives on. We respected the fuck out of you. We didn't play about you. We didn't play about the movies. Damn. You really fucked this city up with that one, girl. I just hope you're resting in peace for real. You know, you're reunited with your brother. So I'm just...
I'm still very upset about Hayden Panettiere. I just want to be clear. I actually love Hayden Panettiere. She literally was on some of my... Heroes was my shit, okay? I love Bring It On. I loved all of it. And let me say this. We won't let her rest in peace for right now. But like Monique said, like I told Lenard the other day, say their names and leave it on the playground. She went through such a tragic life, and so many people failed her along the way. And I'm going to let some people rest for now, but we will be spinning the block. She told a story recently about her being on a yacht and being forced to do sexual favors as an 18-year-old. We're going to let it rest for now, but whoever that man was who did that, you better count your motherfucking days. Neutrogena, the goddamn skincare company who cut off their partnership with her because she came out and talked about having postpartum depression. Neutrogena, you count your motherfucking days too. We spinning the block. We finna oop for hours. Rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. I love Hayden Panettiere down. Y'all don't be coming on here mispronouncing her last name either. I saw like 2 videos of people mispronouncing her last name. Hayden worked for that notoriety. Y'all better put some respect on my sister name. Rest in peace, baby girl. I'm gutted with this one. We spinning blocks. We laying it down over that one. Rest in peace to Hayden.
I feel like I don't even have to tell you why I'm crying. This one hurts.
Literally just woke up and saw this. Actress Hayden Panettiere has sadly passed away at only 36 years old, just days before her 37th birthday. Hayden died on Sunday, August 16th. Law enforcement has confirmed that police responded to an incident involving the actress that day and that there is currently an open investigation. However, officials have not yet revealed where Hayden was found, the circumstances surrounding her death, or an official cause of her death. Her father confirmed the devastating news in a statement saying, "It is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen. Her family has asked for privacy as they process what they called an unimaginable loss. Hayden has been acting practically her entire life. She appeared in movies like Remember the Titans, Raising Helen, Ice Princess, and Bring It On, All or Nothing, and voiced Dot in A Bug's Life. Of course, a lot of people know her best as Claire Bennett on Heroes, Juliet Barnes on Nashville, and Kirby Reed in Scream 4 and Scream 6. Hayden leaves behind her 11-year-old daughter, Kaya, whom she shared with her former fiancé. In 2018, Hayden relinquished custody of Kaya to her father while she was struggling with postpartum depression and addiction. She expressed how it was a heartbreaking thing to do, but still remained a part of her daughter's life. Hayden had been incredibly open about her struggles with alcohol and prescription drugs, postpartum depression and the pressures of growing up as a child star. She was also still grieving the loss of her younger brother, Jansen, who unexpectedly died in 2023 at only 28 years old. I know fans who grew up watching her are absolutely devastated, but I can only imagine what her actual friends and family are going through right now. My prayers and condolences go out to everyone who loved her.
When Hayden Panettiere opened up about her being on a yacht in the middle of the ocean, offered up to a high-powered celebrity, politician, who knows, she didn't go into detail. When she went on that interview and told the world about that, you at that point knew it was just a matter of time. Because now at 36 years old, they're reporting that she is no longer with us and nobody knows what happened to her. Simultaneously, I also believe that there is a lot of stuff going on right now between this Clancy case and now Hayden. What is it that they don't want us to know about? Because at this point, the world is a complete stage. And yes, I teeter on being interested in it. And then I also teeter on the opposite end of, well, what are they trying to hide? I can't quite find the balance. And to be honest with you, who even really knows what exactly is going on with her? But it's been reported that she is no longer here. If that is true, I pray for her child.
I did not realize that Black people fucked with Hayden Panettiere so much. Last night when I saw her passing, I gasped. I gasped like 3 times. My husband was like, oh, what happened? And I wasn't going to tell him when I first saw it because I didn't think that he like knew her or would care. But I was like, oh, I just saw that like Hayden passed away. He's like, Hayden Panettiere got her last name right and all of that. This is a Caribbean man that only listens to soca and dancehall. Like, Hayden, when we say that we dislike white people, never were we talking about you, Queen. Rest in peace.
Baby, I have fell asleep. Tina and Cordero's child done went to glory. Lord have mercy. This is too much. Wow. I just watched an interview with Hayden. These young folks is going through things, honey. My God. It is nothing. The feeling of going to sleep and waking up in the world is different. And we know that happens every day. But when it's like key things, I fell asleep. I was taking a nap when, what was the first song from Beyonce's album? When Formation dropped. I woke up and Formation was out. There's a before and after. And I was just like, I opened my eyes and drank a little water and I said, child, let me... My goodness.
More information is coming out about Hayden Panettiere's death, and it turns out that someone she knew had called 911 around 2 p.m. yesterday to report that she was unresponsive and in cardiac arrest, but we're not sure who that person is. TMZ said they're not sure if it's her on and off again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, but what we do know is the night before, she and Brian flew from LA to South Carolina, and she was found dead in a South Carolina home. And there's also audio that came out of a responder sending medics to her location saying to perform CPR on somebody who has overdosed. They're also reporting that paramedics tried to do chest compressions but couldn't bring her back, and she was pronounced dead by 2:32 p.m. To quote the article, police say there are no initial signs of foul play and the circumstances surrounding Hayden's death did not appear to be suspicious. Of course, an autopsy will be performed to determine the cause of her death. Now, I have never spoken up about her relationship with Brian Hickerson, who she was with for 8 years on and off, but she opened up about the fact that she would not be getting back with him because of the fact that he was very abusive to her, and I'm talking physically abusive to her, to the point where not only did he admit it, but he spent time behind bars because of it. I always hoped that she would walk away from this relationship and hopefully have a bright and better future. So again, it really breaks my heart that this is how it ended.
So Neutrogena is getting canceled after fans found out what they did to Hayden Panettiere. Following the heartbreaking news of her death at just 36 years old, an old clip has resurfaced of Hayden explaining what she said happened between her and Neutrogena, a brand she worked with for around a decade. Hayden gave birth to her daughter Kaya in 2014 and later struggled with postpartum depression. But when she first publicly opened up about it, she wasn't even planning to. During a 2015 appearance on Live with Kelly and Michael, the subject came up unexpectedly, and Hayden decided to be honest about what she was experiencing. According to Hayden, she later received a call saying Neutrogena wanted to fire her because she had discussed postpartum depression. Her representative reportedly pushed back, so she remained with the company that year, but Hayden said she knew the relationship was basically over. She wasn't brought back the following year. A 10-year relationship severed just like that. Watching Hayden in those Neutrogena ads was honestly so millennial core. She became one of the faces people immediately associated with the brand during the 2000s and 2010s, which makes this even more disappointing. Now people are flooding Neutrogena's social media comment sections with criticism, and I can see why, because how are you a beauty company whose products are predominantly marketed towards women, but allegedly have an issue with one of your longtime female ambassadors speaking honestly about something so many women experience? That's what gets me about some of these companies. They love selling women self-care, confidence, and empowerment when there's a product attached to it. But when a woman talks about an experience that isn't pretty, polished, or marketable, suddenly it's a problem? You can't sell women self-care and then allegedly punish a woman for actually taking care of herself. Hayden later made it clear that she didn't regret speaking out, and she shouldn't have. If anything, this situation shows exactly why women speaking openly about postpartum depression was and still is so important.
Ignore my eyes. I don't even want to talk about how I look right now. I just had to get out of my bed and make this video. Hayden Panettiere has literally been promoting her memoir all summer. Been doing interviews about her life. I think she did an interview with Jay Shetty this year. Like, bro, she even talked about her experiences in the industry, and she even was traveling yesterday, and now she passed away today. There's something about that just don't sit right in my soul, bro. Like, yo, like, her daughter, bro, like, she just lost her brother, like, a few years back, too. Like, bro, everything is a little, it is too much right now. That's all I have to say. Hayden Panettiere has passed away at 36 years old. It was confirmed by ABC News and TMZ before any of the other, like, media outlets got a hold of it. Like, they sent a statement over to ABC News. I'm just, bro. And to the people that, like, can watch things immediately after someone has passed away, like, you're way stronger than me. Like, I'm thinking about the blind items. I'm thinking about the interviews. It's too much. I gotta go to bed. Good night.
I watched that podcast when it dropped, like, I think it dropped in May, I think. And that interview was truly one of the most moving and vulnerable interviews I've ever seen. Hayden Panettiere had a very difficult life. She had a very difficult childhood. From the issues that she had with her parents, particularly her mother, her issues with substance abuse. Her brother passed away a few years ago, and that absolutely shattered her. She gave up her parental rights of her daughter to her ex-husband because of her substance abuse issues and for the safety and security of her daughter. She wrote a book about all of this, and that's what she was talking about on the podcast. She was on a book tour. It seemed as though she was turning a new leaf and really pushing for the next chapter of her life. She was truly I don't know why this one is getting to me so much, but it's really hard to watch people struggle and go through such significant grief and pain and push through, and then you read something like this. She's passed. She was incredibly talented, truly a star in our generation. Especially after watching that interview, I just wanted her to win. I truly hope that she finds peace and she's with her brother now. But yeah, this one's tough, man. This one's tough.
Oh my God, Hayden Panettiere is dead. I think she's 36. Hold on, let me get some more detail. In a statement, her representative said, "It is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen." Now, they have not released what the cause of death is. They just confirmed that she did die at 36. I know that she struggled with drugs and alcohol in the past. I'm unsure if she was still struggling with them at the time of her death. She was also going through this weird custody thing with her baby daddy where her daughter was living in a completely different country. What the hell is going on? 36 is so young. And just in case you do not know who she is, she was in Bring It On. She was in Heroes. She was in Nashville. She was in all types of stuff. She played the girl next door type of role, the Bring It On cheerleader style type of roles. She really was that girl for a very long time, and then she wasn't. But yeah, her rep confirmed that she is dead at 36.
Oh, Hayden, I hope she didn't do it. I hope she didn't do it. But if anyone knows her story, we wouldn't be surprised if she did it. I can't even fathom. I don't even have words. I am just... How I cannot... Her family, her daughter... Rest in peace, Angel.
Hayden Panettiere passing away is actually insane. I don't even believe it's real, and it's very I don't know, it's just strange. All of this came after she literally just released her book. I believe it was in May. All of this came after she was on a podcast. She was talking about her experiences in the industry and all of the things that she had to go through. And it's just insane because one moment you're here and the next moment you're not. And she's leaving her 11-year-old daughter, and she was a childhood, I wouldn't say hero, but she was somebody that we all loved. The struggle she had to go through was insane. All of the things that she went through in her entire life was so insane. And to be 36 years old, life is so short. This is so crazy. I truly pray for her family because, like I said, she's leaving an 11-year-old daughter, and 36 is so young. I don't even think y'all understand how young 36 is, and she accomplished so much over her life, from Bring It All or Nothing to planning A Bug's Life. I really hopes and prayers to her family, and I don't know, not saying the cause of death too right now, I understand, but it's just all too soon.
Of all the people that this world could have taken from us, Hayden Panettiere was nowhere on that list in my mind. My heart is broken. That woman was such a huge part of so many of our childhood memories. Heroes, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, Nashville, Bring It On, Ice Princess, Remember the Titans. The list is endless. She was one of those actresses that just always seemed to be there. No matter what stage of life you were in, there was probably a Hayden project that you loved. And every single time that she was on screen, she brought something special, had this incredible ability to be funny and vulnerable and fierce and heartbreaking, sometimes all in the same scene. She was so open about the challenges she faced, about the grief, the addiction, the postpartum, and trying to rebuild her life. It genuinely felt like she fought so hard to find peace. So to hear that she passed away at just 36 years old is heartbreaking. Rest in peace, Hayden, and thank you so much for the memories.
I'm gonna try to get through this without crying. I get this is really fucking parasocial and weird, but I don't care. I don't care. I get to be parasocial with one person, and it was Hayden Panettiere. So back in, I think I was 15. It might have been 14 or 15. I watched Bring It On All or Nothing 15 times during my winter break from school. And then I got to the point where I can quote the entire movie, and not just the whole movie. I can quote the entire movie and the songs that are in the movie. I can do the entire movie start to finish, and I've proven it to people who don't believe me. Oh my God. And then I had already watched Heroes at that point. And so then I just tried to watch her whole filmography, which I have. But at the end of that winter break, after watching all 15 times of Bring It On, All or Nothing, I tweeted her. And because I was just obsessed with her at this point, I was just so in love with her. I dyed my hair her color. I wanted to look like her. I started dressing like her. And then I tweeted her, and she tweeted me back, and I posted on Facebook because it just like blew me away that she would answer me. And I was young, so of course it was amazing. But I didn't even add, this is before she even went into the Scream franchise, because clearly I'm a horror person. That's what I'm here for. This was all happening before she went into the horror franchise and into Scream. And when that day happened, I screamed so loud. I screamed so loud at the top of my lungs, just knowing that she was going to be in these. Like, I lost my mind, because I'm like, oh my God, she's going into my genre. I don't know. I've watched, I'm gonna go rewatch Ice Princess now.
So I just woke up to the news of Hayden passing away. 17 missed calls and text messages and everything else. This is 2 in 1 week. So I'm gonna process. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
So I've been trying to figure out why Hayden Panettiere was in some apartments in Greenville, South Carolina, and that's where she passed, because I'm like, that's a weird place to be. Because I used to live in Gaffney, and Greenville is not that big. But I'm like, okay, but why was she there in some apartments? And the reports that are coming out, like, they didn't say who, like, found her. It was just some unnamed person. But I ended up finding out that it's the guy that she's been on and off again that was literally abusing her, went to jail for 45 days for hitting her. And she just did a memoir about him, and he admitted that everything she said about him was true. So apparently she came down the day before they found her to, like, visit his family, and he was the one that found her in his apartment. So I'm sorry, but anytime I find out that somebody has a history of DV and you come up unalived, you are my prime suspect. I think it's highly suspicious.
Bitch, I'm up late fucking doom scrolling. Told myself I was gonna go to bed early tonight, but here the fuck I am, still up doom scrolling. Why the fuck I'm seeing shit talking about some Hayden Panettiere died? My white girl Hayden Panettiere died? Bitch, the wrong white people are dying. My mom is right. It's always this fucking fault!
Stop. I'm hyperventilating. Bitch, why are they talking about Hayden Panettiere just died? I don't have time like this. The wrong white people is dying. Yo. Did you see it?
Lying, bro.
Look, TMZ put it.
From what? She's dead as fuck.
I was gonna say TMZ is always right. When people die, TMZ hits. But that's Wikipedia. It hasn't been. It's not even been. It hasn't. This the TMZ joint.
But this is the one that said it wasn't on there yet. No.
Hold on, let me check Twitter. Yeah, like ABC News just reported, bro.
Like, no
and
way,
Phil from Twitter just. Oh yeah, I'm sick. Oh my God. Yo, that's the best. Bring it on with her and Salon. That's the best. Bring it on. I'm not. I can't. I'm done.
Y'all, I honestly don't even know what to say right now, because we just got the unfortunate news that Hayden Panettiere has passed away at only 36 years old. Hayden Panettiere is one of my favorite childhood actresses, and I literally grew up watching her movies, from Bring It On to Ice Princess. Some of y'all may know her from the hit series Nashville. She was such an incredible talent, and this is truly devastating news. Those that have been following her journey recently also know that she had struggled with addiction, and she talked about this in her memoir, as well as some podcasts that she did recently talking about what it was like growing up in the industry, some of her hardships. She was going in such a positive direction. Right now, we do not know the cause of her death. The details are unclear, But at this time, I'm sending thoughts and prayers to her family, especially her children. Anybody who's ever known her, I'm sending you so much love right now. I did not know her personally, but I do know that her films made a huge impact on me, but also the struggles that she overcame and talked about recently are very personal to me as somebody who does know people who struggle with the same things. It's always sad hearing this type of news, but especially with her being only 36 years old, it just makes it that more heartbreaking.
I'm only coming on here to make a video for one thing and one thing only, and then I'm going back in hiding until further notice. But in honor of Hayden Panettiere passing away, I just had to come on here and say, like, my girl really fucked the city up with this one, Jay. Like, she really fucked the city up. I can't even focus on what the fuck I was even watching because my head is, like, really in a fucking swivel right now. Like, my mind is racing. I can't believe my girl really just motherfucking passed away. Might bring it on, queen. And when they say black people don't play about this fucking girl, we don't fucking play. Like, when I found out the fucking news, first of all, when I found out the motherfucking news, my best friend had texted one of my best friends. She texted me. She was like, "Bitch, check your Facebook. Check your Facebook." I'm like, what you talking about? And then my other best friend texted me. She was like, "Bitch, look." And then I looked, and it was the TMZ announcing that she passed away, and my heart just sunk in my fucking ass. I was in like fucking disbelief. So I texted my other best friend back. And I was like, "Is it about Hayden, this, that, or whatever?" And she was like, "Yeah." And it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I actually did like shed a few fucking tears about that girl. Like, my heart is really fucking broken. My heart is really fucking hurting for that girl. Like, this is crazy. Like, I grew up watching Bring It On, All or Nothing, like, every motherfucking day. Like, that's really my motherfucking movie. And I still watch that shit to this motherfucking day. I literally just watched the movie not too long ago. Like, that's my girl. Like, that's really my fucking girl. She really just hurt the fucking heart with this one. This is crazy. Anybody that personally fucking knows me knows I love Bring It On. Bring It On, Bring It On, All or Nothing, and Bring It On, Enter to Win It. Those is my motherfucking movies. And Bring It On, All or Nothing always been my motherfucking top two. Like, my girl really made that motherfucking movie what it is. Like, stop playing with her. What? Rest in peace to my motherfucking girl, Hayden Panettiere, because you will always be motherfucking missed. Because real bitches lives on forever. The fuck is you talking about? And I will always and forever stream your motherfucking movie. Oh, and one more thing I do want to say. Since they announced her passing, like, all I can hear in my head, and I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. It just keep replaying in my motherfucking head is when her three friends call her on video chat or whatever when she at the new school in Crenshaw Heights, and it was like, hey Brittany. I swear to God, I just keep hearing that in my head, like, hey Brittany. This is so sad. This is just a sad, cheerless day.
Reading the Hayden Panettiere passing news, like, y'all, my heart genuinely sunk. Fully sunk. I have seen this woman on every aspect of my life. Like, I saw her Ice Princess. I saw her in Heroes. I saw her in Scream. She's always been present on my screen at some point, at every point of my life. Like, bring it on, girl. That's like, come on. And it's really hard to wrap my head around the fact that, like, we're never going to see her on screen again. And the more I learn about her personal life and how much she's gone through, because everyone's posting about it now, it's just like, it really feels like she had so much more life to live. So for her to be gone, especially she's 36, that is so unbelievably young. Do you know how much? That is so young. This feels deeply unfair, and I feel so sorry for her family and her loved ones and her daughter. Oh my God, her daughter. I don't even know what to say. Like, this just feels like it's not supposed to happen, but it has happened, and she fucked the city up. Oh my God, she fucked the city up with this. Rest in peace, Hayden. Rest in peace, because it should not have been you. It should not have been her. Period.
Hayden Panettiere hurt. That actually hurt. If I'm being honest, I didn't cry. I just didn't know how to really react. And after hitting the Sonic straight to the article, I got questions. I'm aware of the things she had issues with in the past. And I'm aware of her on-again, off-again boyfriend. But I'll be honest, this smells like foul play. I've read 2 articles and both of them are giving a little bit of a different detail. And the timing of it does line up with somebody didn't want somebody to talk. But when you consider the fact that she was just about to release her memoir, I'm pretty sure they just did a Until Dawn remake. Wasn't she just in one of the Scream movies? And that this interview she had is from 3 months ago. The idea that this just happened and there's no other involvement doesn't add up. I can tell you one thing, nothing about this is natural. There is absolutely some other kind of thing that happened that caused it. 36 years old. R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere, bro. Bro, you know what makes Hollywood evil? People. It's not just about some eyes wide shut, secret, decret society stuff. It's the fact that people with money can use said money to hide the things that they do. If I've ever seen a situation that smells like exactly that, it's Hayden Panettiere. As soon as you see that she's gone, your brain couldn't even register that that was a natural thing. And it did automatically go straight to foul play. And that's the biggest problem with Hollywood. The fact that when you see things like this, you know what happened. We all do. And we all also know how hard they're going to work to protect a lot of really bad people. Grown man, by the way. Don't believe me? Watch this. R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere. That don't even sound right.
I'm about to go on a whole rant because I'm getting so frustrated with people online here. Now, I know that this is beyond my control and I could just log off and just not pay any mind to this kind of stuff. But I just want to ask a question to people. When you were in elementary school and they brought up the sequencing thing, right? Like you need to find the pattern. How did you do with that? Now, me specifically, I was always good at pattern recognition. I was good at puzzles. You know what I mean? That's like my thing. What's your thing? Is it math? Do you know 2 + 2 = 4? Do you know that? This is why I'm bringing this up. Unfortunately, Hayden Panettiere just passed away, right, at the age of 36. A couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, she releases this interview, this podcast, right, talking about postpartum depression, addiction, alcoholism, all kinds of shit, okay? I just saw a video of some dumbass bitch say, I hope that she didn't do it. Meaning, she hopes that Hayden Panettiere didn't do this to herself. Again, where's the pattern recognition? Are y'all serious? Now, I want everybody to pay attention to this. Now, I don't know if this is really with Amanda Bynes' live. I don't know what this is. But she's just sitting here saying nothing. And it's a picture of Hayden Panettiere and her, okay? Again, pattern recognition, puzzle, 2 + 2 = 4. It's all aligning up. So no, there is no such thing as I hope that she didn't do this to herself. You guys have got the message fucked up. I'm getting really tired of people not understanding that there is a Satanist cult embedded, specifically, it shows its display in American culture, movies, music, all kinds of shit. It's giving Virginia Giuffre. You remember when Virginia Giuffre tweeted, if I ever myself, like, don't believe it, I would never myself. How you going to go on a podcast 3 months ago, Hayden Panettiere, right? How you going to go on and express all this stuff, put your baggage out there, put the truth out there, get vulnerable, and then no. Did Brittany Murphy do this to herself? Did Britney Spears do that to herself? I'm getting tired of people not being able to recognize evil when it happens. I'm getting so sick of people's demise being entertainment for you fucking loser people that can't recognize pattern recognition. You can't fucking do math. You have no intuition. You have no discernment. All right. It's another Hollywood death at the age of 36. No signs of any medical issues. I'm getting so tired of social media.
I just made a video about Hayden Panettiere. Passed away at 36, 3 months after she releases a book called This Is Me, A Reckoning, talking about her life as a child star, the passing of her brother Jansen 3 years ago, and about how she stated that she was trafficked. The video was immediately, I had one view when the video was taken the fuck down and given a community guidelines violation. Okay, what did I say? What did I do? And the only hashtag I put in it was Hayden Panettiere. Also in this video, I was stating how she said that she was going to name names in this book. She went on Jay Shetty and named the woman who she said trafficked her to this man on this yacht. The name she gave was Stella McAmis. No one knows who that is. So the word on the curb was that this name was a moniker or a pseudonym, like a false name that people in Hollywood recognize. Now, when people started doing the detective work, they thought and they accused this woman named Diana Jenkins, who you might know as one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't watch any of the Real Housewives shows, so I don't know who this bitch is, okay? But back in the day, she was also rumored to be in the blind items, a Hollywood madam, a Ghislaine Maxwell, if you will, to the young starlets. Think yacht girls of today. Lindsay Lohan, Nikki and Paris Hilton, that whole crew. She was them with rich old men. Supposedly she's the one, but she has avidly denied it. And back in the day when they talked about her being this madam, she sued people, but she has not sued anyone who has accused her of being the one who put Hayden Panettiere on that yacht, told her to go downstairs into this room where this naked man was waiting for her. This man being a very big celebrity in Hollywood. Hayden never releases his name. Never releases the woman's real name for real, because if you look up Stella McAmis, there's nothing. But now, 3 months later, Hayden is gone. There's no cause of death. They don't say. She was 36. We had just talked to her 3 months ago. She never said she was sick. She never said anything. She was in recovery. So, you know, it could have always been a relapse. It could have been anything, but it wasn't an accident and it wasn't natural causes. So here we fucking are. They took my video down within literally 1 second of me releasing that. This is so sad to me. Even though she was younger than me, I still watched her on Heroes. I watched her on Bring It On with Solange. And then when she was really little, and Remember the Titans with Denzel. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But in a lot of ways, it's given Virginia Giuffre after she wrote her book. It's just really, really strange to me. Again, we don't know the cause of death. TMZ said something about an hour or two ago about the family doing an investigation into her death. So it may have been a you know what, it could have been something weird, it could have been we don't know, but this is very fucking strange. It's taking my videos, like, what's going on? Rest in peace, Hayden. You were loved, you will be missed. Justice for Hayden.
Okay, so that is it. All I have to say is rest in peace to her. She will be missed. She is legendary. I just can't believe it, honestly. I did not expect this to happen at all. I love Heroes. She was absolutely amazing in Heroes and all the films that she was in. And 36 is not old at all. Not at all. So it just shows you again that 1 minute you're here, the next minute you never know what can happen. So I hope that her family is okay, her parents, because they had already had lost their son, her brother, and her daughter no longer has her mother. So this is a shame. This is a shame. So rest in peace to Hayden. Please like, share, and subscribe, everybody. I'll be reading your comments below. And she was simply Hayden. You know, simply Hayden Panettiere to us. She has fans from all walks of life who grew up watching her around the same age as her or a little older, and she was a part of our lives. So rest in peace, Hayden. She was a part of our lives. She was talented. She was absolutely gorgeous, and you know, a role model for a lot of people who admired her and loved the work that she did. Okay. And yes, she went through things in her life like other people, and she overcame that. A lot of people were rooting for her. And to see this happen is just sad and a shame. So, again, I hope her family and friends and everybody is okay. Rest in peace again to Hayden.